This interview is with veteran toy designer, award-winning figure artist Jim Rogers, who works out of James Rogers Studio in Waco, Texas. Jim has been working with me personally on my video Nasteez toy line. Jim has quite an extensive history working on toys, going back several decades, and has worked with big industry players like Kenner, Disney, Lucasfilm, Applause, you name it. And I want to do a quick Q&A for the toy public and the minifigure collecting community with Jim, so we can get some clear insights into who he is and how the world of sculpting art toys and whatnot has affected his life, and he's also going to share some of his experiences and whatnot. First off, Jim, when and where did it all begin for you with toys, figures, and figure sculpting?
Well, back in the early 80s, I actually literally fell into doing sculpting. I was, in the late 70s, early 80s, I was racing desert motorcycles in California and broke my arm so bad that I had to sell my bike to pay for surgery. I wasn't doing well in the math physics department over in college, so I stumbled over into the art department.
Okay.
And while I was in one of the sculpting classes, a bronze casting class, there was a guy in there named Larry Lubeau, who was renting studio space to a toy sculptor named Steve Varner. Steve Varner has a very good name in the toy business. He's been at it for a long time, done some incredible stuff. He's responsible for a very good part of the Teenage Ninja Turtle line.
Yeah.
And so I got to work for him for about 9 months.
Yeah, and yeah, okay. And
in the mid-'80s.
Okay, now Jim, you said something earlier to me about you had a chance to work on one of the very first action figures for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. It was going to be one of the first, it was like the first sculpt that they ever got presented that was possibly going to be considered for mainstream production, right?
It was a test of Donatello just for playmates to see what they would look like. It was slightly smaller than what production was, but he was static. He wasn't articulated, but they just wanted to see how it was going to look in 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
I guess the guys that came up with the turtles did some little paper mache or something, just kind of get an idea.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This was the first that was done with the idea of becoming a toy.
Okay.
And yeah.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
That was kind of cool to do.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Jim, do you enjoy working on projects for independents just as much as you do working with big industry players?
You know what? It's probably more fun. It may not have as large of a financial payoff.
Yeah.
But it sure is a lot more fun, because to people that are in the toy businesses, as with so many businesses, after a while it just becomes mechanical and you're just trying to do something. But when working with someone like yourself, it's precious.
Yeah. Well,
you have a piece of it, and it's important part. It's your baby.
Well, thanks, Jim.
It's fun to be part of it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a precious experience, and I do consider it a blessing to be able to work with you, especially someone who's had their hands in so many big name projects over the last few decades. Jim, what have been some of your most rewarding experiences while doing work for major companies like Lucasfilm, Disney, Kenner, and others?
Well, I've had a couple neat projects. Back when working with Applause, when they were doing some of the premium work for Taco Bell, when one of the Star Wars, when they re-released the Star Wars, all 3 movies, and this would have been late 80s, early 90s. They did the premiums at those restaurants. Oh, it was when...
You talking about the late 90s, the Taco Bell KFC campaign?
Yeah, it's when episode 1 was coming out. That's what it was.
Yeah, 1999, Phantom Menace.
Was that when it was?
Yeah, 1999. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, one of the pieces that we did several of the pieces, but one of them, which I'm actually looking at a copy right now, was the little 3-inch. It was the age grade 3 and under. It was a little Yoda.
Right.
Find out until a couple of years later that was the premium of the year. For
Yeah.
age grade 3 and under.
Yeah.
But we got to do a bunch of the pieces. We did there was that little Millennium Falcon that had gyroscope in it.
Uh-huh.
There was an exploding Death Star which they pulled because it exploded.
Oh, yes, sir.
I got a few of those.
But you won an award. You got an award for the Yoda toy.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, Jim.
That was kind of cool.
And what happened to the Death Star toy? It wasn't released?
They didn't release it because it would spin and then it would open up like a flower, like it was exploding. But the problem was they were flying apart.
Yeah.
So they pulled them. So I've actually got a few of those. They're probably worth something.
They probably are, Jim. It sounds like you probably got some neat things in your archives. With several decades under your belt doing major design work, Jim, do you have a particular memory that stands out from all of that? Got any interesting stories?
Well, one of the pieces that I did for Applause, and it's one of the more difficult pieces that I've ever had to do for anything. It was a diorama, if you want to call it that, of Darth Vader's meditation chamber.
Oh, wow.
And it's about 9 inches in diameter.
Uh-huh.
And, it's only on screen in one movie for just a few seconds.
Yes, sir.
So there was very little reference material, but it took me about a week and a half to do the machining that I had to do to make the top half close down onto the bottom half. It was quite a project.
Ah, it sounds neat. That sounds like something that would have been fun to play with back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the the prototypes that I still have the original here.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds really interesting. I bet the Star Wars fans would love to see that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of them will listen to this interview as well. And there's quite a number of them in the world, and they love hearing insider information on their favorite Star Wars toys and whatnot. Jim, after working on,
I can send you a picture of that so you can put that up.
Okay, yeah, please do so. I'll do that. And any other pictures you might have, we can use them. After working on monochromatic minifigure designs like the video Nasteez, where do you see the future of that genre heading?
I am still kind of an infant into this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, in a lot of ways, I'm a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily really into the collectible areas.
Yes, sir.
The specifics, and I have a great deal of respect for the collectors, because collectors is what have given me a wonderful career.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm enjoying being along for the ride, and I look forward to working on a lot more of these for you and maybe some of your friends.
Absolutely, and it seems like it's starting to really blow up in the West. It's certainly a phenomenon in Japan and that part of the world, and premium figures and minifigures do seem like they're making a comeback, so we're hoping so. And Jim, if folks want to contact you regarding a possible sculpting assignment or anything else, what is the best way to reach you, Jim?
The best way is they can go to the website, jamesrogersstudio.com.
Mm-hmm.
They can look through the galleries, see some of the stuff that's on there. There's a contact page on there. So the best way to reach me is to email me.
Oh, fantastic! Well,
and that contact is on that website.
Fantastic, and you're in Waco, Texas. Well, Jim, I do appreciate your time, sir. I know you're a very busy man, but I'll make sure this gets out to the toy community and the YouTube world. And I do enjoy working with you, sir, and I hope we continue to do some exciting projects together. It's been a real treat thus far, and thanks for everything, sir.
Absolutely. It's been fun working on these, and I look forward to us working a lot more over the next few years.